Happy 21 in 2021 for Lifestyle Reboot. My name is Jessica Corvo, and I am one of the co-creators of this program. Sandy Cochran is the other co-founder and mastermind and celebrity fitness personal trainer. And unfortunately, he was unable to join us today. He had to tend to some recovery type things. We send him all of our love and we send him all the good vibes. As he mentioned on day one, that he was diagnosed with cancer and he's been fighting that battle like an absolute warrior. And so being flexible and adjusting, that's what we do. We're resilient and we fill in the gaps and we pick up the slack and we support one another. So he gave me a list of different things that he wanted me to show you guys. And I'm actually going to start by sharing one of my favorite stories about Sandy. So we were both working group fitness for a corporate wellness company. And he Sandy is just an amazing human being. I mean, he's been doing this for many, many, many years. And he's been with the company for many years, and here I am, a new person. And even though I've been doing sports for a number of years, 20 years as an athlete, this was my first entry into the teaching space. And so he had heard about me in some of my classes, and I guess other people were saying that they enjoyed my format. I teach Strong Nation, so I'm part of the Zumba family. And he just started recommending me. As he was letting go of some of his classes, he allowed me to inherit. And I didn't know who he was. He is just an angel on earth. And I have so many positive things to say about him. I love him dearly. He's part of my chosen family. And just feeling so blessed for being able to inherit this class and then hearing through the grapevine that, his his arm muscles were the size of my my core. I wanted to jump into his class and just to kind of get a vibe for what to expect and what the expectations were going to be from his students and for the members. And so when we met, he was just a walking muscle. And being an athlete, I'm used to it, but I was just like, oh my goodness, this is intimidating. And he allowed me to join the class, and at the very end, he gave me 5 minutes to kind of give the class a sample and a little bit of a handover. But his warm up, oh my goodness, it was 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of just straight up jump roping. And I remember thinking, I don't remember ever jump roping this long in my entire life. And my calves were on fire, but every single muscle in my body was activated and ready to rock and roll. I think at like maybe 3.5 minutes, I was just like, that's the workout, right? We get to when's the water break. So I share this story to kind of illustrate the importance of a solid workout and the importance of Sandy having so much experience, especially at a very elite level, and his awareness and intelligence and experience going into a properly well executed warm up. And then there's me as an athlete. I'll get there, but mine is a little bit more functional in terms of stuff that I've used that's worked for me as an athlete. And so finding that happy balance in between, hopefully you guys are able to take away quite a bit of positive things. And to me, a lot of it is just about body awareness. I think that's the number one thing for warming up is, yes, to get the body warm so you don't pull anything or injure yourself. But number two, it's to get yourself back in the body. We spend so much time being quick and going boom, 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 boom. And when we get to stretch, it's a moment to slow down. And it's a moment to just take inventory of what's happening from all the way from the top of our head, all the way to the bottom of our toes. And so to kind of put this in context of day one and day two, and now we're on day three. Day one, we were talking about goals. So hopefully you guys are still on track with remembering that goal and connecting it to your heart and really understanding what that's going to feel like once we accomplish, because everyone's going to accomplish their goals. Day number two, we started evaluating our lifestyles. No need for changes yet, but just to have a consciousness and awareness of what we're doing in our life that is going to bring us towards accomplishing that goal versus what might be a slight hindrance. So just having that awareness and thinking about what's important for you anytime that you're out to set a goal. And then number three is stretching. So today we are officially starting into the the physical aspect of healthy lifestyles and just starting with an assessment of where our body is. So, without further delay, if you guys want to go ahead and put on your favorite tune or something like that, we're just going to do each stretch. I'm going to do static stretches. Normally, I do movement stretches, but we're going to do some static ones, which just means no movement, just holding it. And the suggestion is to do 3 sets with 10 seconds each. So pretend, if you will, that you're going to be jump roping for maybe 3.5 minutes, because that was my threshold. And so I call it fake jump roping, just to kind of do a quick inventory of everything. So since we're still in pandemic world 2.0, I call it fake jump rope. So you get those knees up, make sure that those knees are coming straight up and they're not going side to side. So straight up, and then get those arms going. And as you get those arms going, just start taking inventory of all of your body. Feel your shoulders, feel your biceps, your triceps, feel your back, feel that chest, feel all of your hips, feel your quads, your hamstring, your glutes, your calves, feel everything. Shake out your hands and then just take that inventory to find out if anything is bothering you or if anything's hurting you. If you have any stings, if you have any pains, any twangs, any stuff like that. That to me is what is good for the fake jump roping in the beginning. And that's how I start all of my classes. So however long it takes you to do the inventory for every single one of your body parts, again, this is in order to take inventory to find out what feels okay and what doesn't feel okay. So as you're doing that movement, kind of roll those shoulders back, see how you're feeling. I have a lot of clients that, working at home, the work from home, they're sitting on their couch rather than sitting, in a chair or rather than standing. And when they're in the couch, they're kind of leaning off to the side, which throws off their entire body. And so sometimes you got to do some hip openers, you got to do, different stretches to kind of compensate and, because your body gets stuck in like those positions. So as we're assuming you guys have space to sit down, we're going to go ahead and we'll sit down a little bit. And as you're sitting down, I like to start after the inventory. Sit there. This is called the butterfly. So as you sit there with the butterfly, just nice and relaxed, stick that chest out, keep that back nice and flat, roll those shoulders back. Nice, easy gaze on your face. Chin's not too high, chin's not too low, just straight ahead. And then let those knees kind of drop down. And just feel those knees just getting really heavy as they're kind of going down to the ground. It's going to open up your legs. It's going to open up your hips a little bit. And it just feels really good. I'm not going to lie, it feels really good. And then as you just kind of hold it, then you're going to relax. And then again, we're going to do everything for about 3 different times, roughly 10 seconds. And hopefully I'll get to reshoot this video with Sandy, and then he'll be able to tell me what I'm doing right and what I need to improve on. And then just see if you can get those knees to drop just a little bit further, a little bit deeper. Again, you want to make sure that you're not leaning forward, that you're nice and tall. So as you're nice and tall, you're fixing all the different muscles so they're not moving around, because you really want to focus on that lower body. So then as you go ahead and you do one more, again, everything, just pretend like we're doing 3, or we'll just do 3. It's okay, we don't have to pretend, we'll do it. And then go ahead and drop those knees, and you should be able to feel that your knees are getting a little bit closer to the ground, and it's nice and relaxed. I mean, depending on your mobility, it might be a little bit difficult for you. I like to, after this, kind of swing that leg to the back and just kind of see how my hips are feeling. So a lot of my students, they'll kind of curve to the side because if they're sitting on the couch or something like that. So if you kind of engage that core, which means imagine that somebody's trying to tickle you, or imagine that, and you want to tense up your midsection, or pretend like your belly button is attached to a string and it's connected to your back. So just make your stomach nice and tense, and your abs. And then that way it's going to be nice and straight, nice and flat. Shoulders are going to be squared. Again, stick that chest out, roll those shoulders back, sitting nice and tall. Since your leg is going to be folded back, this is just to kind of just hold it. You're not moving, just hold it. And then you're going to be opening up that hip just a little bit more. So when we do the butterflies, you get to open it one perspective. When you do this one, you get to open it in a different perspective. I like to do that easy shifting into this one just because it feels good. Otherwise, this one is really hard for me if I do it cold. So then you just kind of want to relax that leg out, a little bit of a counter stretch, do it again. And then as you're sitting straight up again, make sure that you're not leaning to the side, but you're nice and straight and tall. And then we're just going to hold it again about 10 seconds. And then you're going to go ahead and then stretch it out. A little bit of a counter stretch. And then last one, nice and tall. Make sure that chest is still out. Those shoulders are rolled back. A good thing to also pay attention to is that back is nice and straight. So you don't want to be, too much of a curve. You just want to be nice and tall. And then go ahead and switch on to the other side. So just rotate that leg all the way in the back. I recognize that some people might not have the flexibility, and that's okay. These are things to build into. Just try your best. And this one is going to be focusing on kind of opening up those hips. I like to do this one too because I teach HIIT with the Zumba family. So it's called Strong Nation. And we do a lot of kicks. So this one is thebomb.com with helping you get higher kicks and stuff. Go ahead and do a little bit of a counter, kind of relax that leg a little bit, and then swing it back. Sometimes I like to make sure that I grab onto my ankle because it helps me, with any of my anchoring to make sure that I'm sitting nice in the center. And then from this side, I'll show you from the side what it looks like. So just a different vantage point. Again, we're not going to be arching. We're just going to be keeping those shoulders right over those hips. And then you just let it sit. And then the next one, we're going to be extending that leg. So we used to do this in cross country all the time, and this is for a hamstring stretch. So the easy way to do it is to put your hand on your quad, on your thigh, and then go ahead and drop it all the way down. A dance with your leg all the way down to your ankle. Pull your body towards your knee, and really feel that hamstring stretch. And then go ahead and release, sitting nice and tall. Go ahead and do it again. Slide your hand all the way down that leg. Nice job. And sometimes if you just take a really big breath in your nose and then out your mouth, you can go a little bit deeper with the stretch. And then one more. And then go down. Usually when you're doing like a 30-minute or 45-minute workout or even an hour workout, you should be stretching for 8 to 10 minutes. So this is going to be an elongated stretching, thing for us. Go ahead and slide down just because we want to make sure to explain what some of the stretches are for, what muscle groups you're going to be using. And you have 600 muscles in the body. So we want to try to get as many of them as possible, activate them so we don't hurt ourselves. Go ahead and relax. And then once more, slide that hand all the way down to the ankle. Take a deep breath in the nose. As you exhale, go ahead and bring that chest close to that knee. And kind of fold over if you can. And then go ahead and relax. And then once more. And then big stretch. By the time that you do the third set, you should be a little bit more flexible. So you should be able to get closer and closer and closer. Again, you're going to be feeling it in the hamstring, which is the back part of your upper leg. One of my other favorite stretches for a hamstring when we stretch after class is keeping your toe up. I'll show you really quick. So when you're doing a hamstring stretch standing, you bend that knee and then you keep that toe up. And then you just lean forward. Same thing when we're sitting down, right? And then you go ahead and you put that foot on the ground. So when your foot is up, you get to feel a little bit higher. As the foot goes down, you can feel that dancing hamstring, which I just think is magical. So I guess I could have done the same thing with the toe up versus the toe pointed. But yeah, anyways. So now that we went ahead and we got that the hamstring, now we're going to focus on doing the quads. So similar to what we were doing when we were trying to open up those hips, what we're going to do is we're going to fold that leg into the back. Let me take off my socks, that way you can see my whole foot. Okay. So after we do this, then what we're going to do is we're going to lean back, and as we lean back, we're going to be able to feel that entire hamstring, the quadricep, which is the front part of the upper muscle being stretched. Of course, you can do all of these standing up. I'm choosing to do these sitting down just because I'm not sure who's going to have any balance type issues or who, and besides, there's nothing wrong with being on the floor. I like the floor. Go ahead and relax and then do it once more. When you lean back, you can feel a difference in where your leg is being stretched. And then when you relax, and then last one. Nice job. And then go ahead and do that other side. So when you bring that leg all the way in the back, the foot is gonna be nice and flat. So let me go ahead and switch to this. And then as you go back, you just feel nice and straight. It's so much easier when we do this in person, but it's so much fun to be doing this virtually too. Relax and then do it again. Again, you really want to make sure that you're feeling everything on the top of your leg. This is when you're doing squats, when you're doing actually a lot of movements. It's all going to be using your quads. So it's one of the biggest muscles in the body. Okay, and so the next one that we're going to be doing, which one is on my list? Let's go ahead and stretch out the back a little bit. So if we're sitting with our legs kind of crossed, or if you want to go back into the butterfly, whichever you're comfortable with, go ahead and put one hand on your knee and bring the other hand all the way in the back. This one I like because it's breathing and stretching. Everything is. Big breath in, inhale, and as you exhale, turn into a twist. And then relax. Hand on the knee, nice and tall, nice straight back. Inhale, and then exhale into a twist. When your hand is in the back, all it is holding you up for support so that you can literally twist the body. Last one, hand on the knee, hand in the back. Inhale, and then exhale with a twist. Nice job. Same thing on the other side. Go ahead and put that hand on the knee, hand in the back. Big inhale, and then exhale. Twist on the exhale. Big inhale, and then twist on the exhale. And then last one, inhale, twist on the exhale. Nice job. Okay, this one I absolutely love. So as we're starting to go up and up and up through the body, we can go ahead and grab that arm all the way across. Now when our arm goes all the way across, we're going to push out as we're going to be pulling it in. You'll feel it down the entire arm, and then you might even feel it in your back. So go ahead and as you're crossing, go ahead and push it out and then push it back. So it's a nice little resistance, and you can see your arms. Some of my warriors, they like doing this one in front of the mirror because they like to see how their arms are growing. You do a lot of push-ups. Go ahead and relax, shake it out, and then go ahead and do it again. So for me, I do like to do static stretching at the end of a workout. I like to do more kind of movement type stretching before a workout. And the reason why is because my format, I do a lot of punching and kicking and a lot of rotation. So I like to kind of give a little bit of a preview of some of like the moves that we're going to be doing, and also kind of check the flexibility, because when you're doing static stretches from an instructor perspective, let's do the other side. Remember, pushing out and pulling in. From an instructor perspective, a lot of times the warm-up is so important. So if you are taking group fitness classes, the warm-up is so important for the instructor to take an assessment of what is your flexibility, what are your limitations, and how is your body kind of compensating. Because our role is to always keep you safe and to push you just enough where we're still going to build some muscle rather than break something. It's like when we do crawl outs, for example. Some people, they're not able to do crawl outs, so I know that burpees might be difficult. So, I'll swap out a move for them, and then go ahead. And for me, I really like this one too. So we're going to bring our shoulders all the way up. We're going to hold it and then kind of like we're really short in a crowd. I'm short, so I can say this. Pretend like you're trying to see over the heads of everyone else. And you're like, what am I missing? What am I missing? So you're going to have a nice little stretch. So bring the shoulders up, shoulders to the ears, and then all the way down. And stretch it all the way down. As much space between those ears and shoulders as possible. And let's go back up. And let's go back down. This one for me, I can feel a little bit of tension in my chest. So that's something to kind of, be aware of, and then maybe add a couple additional stretches. And the last one. Nice job. And then when we do a lot of push-ups or upper body type moves, a lot of times bodies will try to compensate. So it means if you're doing tricep push-ups, as an example, sometimes people will, think that they're moving, and they'll move. Their shoulders will dance rather than just focusing on, that tricep and just, the back of your arm muscle just going up and down. So if your shoulders are moving, you're not really working out your triceps. You're working out your neck and, I don't know, maybe your shoulders. And so in order to kind of make sure that everything is nice and stretched out, I like to do this other stretch where you put your hand on your knee, you wrap your other hand over your head, grab that ear, and then you just stretch it out. And just pull that head gently. Again, if you feel any pain, stop what you're doing. We don't want you to hurt yourselves. This is just to gently stretch all of the muscles to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself. And for me, it's always good to have an awareness of kind of like what's tight and what needs a little bit more stretching. Next time, sit on the hand. It's a deeper stretching. Same thing, and then you go and pull the head gently. I like this one. It's really good anytime I'm doing the tricep push-ups because it catches everybody. Okay, and then on the other side, hand on the knee, hand on the knee, hand over the head, and go ahead. Nice job, guys. And just take a deep breath, and again, take inventory of your body. Feel the feels, and then we're going to do the things. And then relax, and then go ahead and sit on that hand. And as you sit on the hand, go ahead and grab that ear, and then pull it open. On this side, I can feel it right in the back over here. So just something for me to be careful of when I'm doing my workout. All right. Another thing that I like to do for some of my workouts, sometimes, again, from a movement perspective, rather than just straight up static stretching, is I like to do push-ups. So I start by doing push-ups off the knees, and we always have an upper body challenge, and that helps us kind of lead into like our workout. I know that if you're doing jump roping, you're kind of opening up those shoulders and warming up those shoulders. If in my class, if we're doing some push-ups, that's, we have a 4-minute warm-up and then we jump straight into push-ups. That way you end up having the 8 to 10 minute for the warm-up. Another way around that is just a little bit of arm circles. So if you go ahead and put your arms straight out, go ahead and move over. You put your arms straight out. You don't want them to be too low. You don't want them to be too high. So if they're just straight out, and then you just start doing arm circles. Now, for this one, again, if you think about every muscle, every stretch is to activate the muscle and to kind of bring awareness to the muscle, right? So as you're doing this and you're going backwards, for me, doing backwards arm circles is really good to correct posture, because look at what happens when you're sitting and you're doing that. After a while, what happens? Your back starts to get a little bit straighter, right? So if you're going forward, what happens? Naturally, you start leaning forward, and it's a conscious effort to stand really tall, but you always want to make sure that those shoulders are over those hips. So as you go backwards, not forward, but as you go backwards, you're actually kind of doing a little bit of an autocorrect. It's World 2.0. People are working from home. If you're not in the office, you're not walking around as much, your lifestyle has changed just a little bit. Your world might go from the bedroom to the living room to the kitchen to the bathroom. So it makes sense, and you're sitting down a lot more. So sometimes if you're sitting down, your posture is going to be like this. So if you're standing nice and tall or doing these backward arm circles, you'll feel it. So just go ahead and continue. I like to do this for about a minute. On arm day, we do them for 4 minutes. I get inspired by Sandy a lot. And so as you're doing this, if you want to break it down a little bit, you can also, kind of like pretend like you're hugging a big balloon, if you will. And so as you have your palms open and you're hugging that balloon and you're going out, you can see all the muscles in my arms. Then as you push forward, you can see on how they jump a little bit, right? So as you push forward, we're going to be activating, the tricep and the lower part of our, I call it the bye-bye muscle. Not very technical. When you wave bye-bye, so does your arm. And so I think everybody has that. So as you go forward, pretend like you're giving a big hug to like a marshmallow or a bubble that's like straight in front of you. So that's in how you can feel like the muscle in the front, and then for the shoulder, it's in the front. If you put your hands up, then you can kind of feel like the muscle, the shoulder muscle on the very top. If you put your hands back and then you go in the back, you're going to feel it in the back. So you can probably see all the muscles as you make it tense, and then you go back, you can see all the different muscles that are activating. Again, we got 600 muscles in your body. It's a lot of muscles. And then the last one is if you're going down. Remember when we were pretending to see over the crowd, and then you're kind of going like that? Well, that's another thing. And again, not necessarily a stretch, but it's to help you with your body awareness on the different parts of the shoulder muscle and how it's connected to the back and the bye-bye muscle and all that good stuff. Because every muscle is important. The next thing that I want to do is to make sure that we're stretching out that forearm. So go ahead and pull those fingers back. And then as we stretch this forearm, it's just going to be stretching. And then stretching. This time we'll alternate rather than have the rest in between. And then again. And stretch. And then depending on how flexible your body is, you put your hand over your head, and then you go ahead and you grab that elbow. This one will help you with your tricep. So go ahead and pull it back. And so you should feel it all the way down. Nice job. And then relax. And then again. I like doing punches. Stag stretches are really good. I just like doing punches. Other side, hand over the head, grab that elbow and pull it in. Sometimes I find that having the flexibility is so important, but we just, just overlook it sometimes. Another really good one that I like to kind of stretch out the chest and then also squeeze the back blades together is I'm going to go ahead, still sitting, put those hands behind you, interlock the fingers, and then as you take an inhale, stick that chest all the way out, and then you're going to be exhaling to squeeze those back muscles, the shoulder blades. So inhale, and then exhale. And then as you squeeze, you can probably see it in the back too. So inhale, stick that chest out, and then exhale. And you get all those back muscles. And get those shoulder blades kind of making out with each other. Okay. Anything else? Let me see. We got our arms, we got our legs, we got maybe our calves. We can do our calves. So let's go ahead and as we stand up, there's a couple ways that you can push up against the wall. So if you go ahead and you drop that back knee, you can do it that way. If you don't feel it as much, you can go ahead and lean forward as you're pushing down. You can pretend like you're pushing up against a wall, or if you have a wall, you can actually push up against a wall. And then you can relax it. And then you can do it again. Nice job. So as you're stretching, I want to kind of bring awareness. Let's do the other leg. I want to bring awareness to whatever your goal is for the 21 days. We're in day number 3. So we're starting the physical part of the lifestyle. So we got a lot of fun planned for you guys. So you got your goal, you got the lifestyle assessment. Now we're bringing in some body awareness. And everything for the next couple of days is going to be with a focus on your body or the physical aspect of lifestyle. All right, guys. I'm so proud of you. The next thing to stretch is probably your mind. You always want to make sure that you're mentally ready for any kind of workout that you're going to be doing, whatever that means to you. It's unplugging, it's turning off your phone, it's making sure that the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour is uninterrupted. To me, I think that it helps me get through workouts because I treat a workout as a self care practice. This is something that I can benefit from, and other people benefit from me being emotionally balanced and mentally calm. But this is something for me to honor my body and for me to celebrate what my body is able to do and to just unplug from anything that's trying to take my attention or steal my attention. So it's a break from the political stuff, from the religious stuff, from the, I don't know, the pandemic stuff, like anything that could possibly be divisive in the world. It's not relevant when I'm working out because working out is shutting out my outside world and focusing on my inside world. I think there's quite a few people that feel the same way, and I'm so excited to maybe reshoot this video with Sandy so that we can banter back and forth on what stretching and working out and the physical element of lifestyle and goal setting means to him. But for me, this is the easiest way to kind of quantify if I'm doing something that is actually, meant to honor me. And on the vanity side, I can see it in my face. My face actually looks different before a workout to after workout because I am chock full of endorphins and the happy things, and I'm in the present moment, and I got back to my breath, and I'm celebrating, and it's a mood shifter. I mean, I represent a lot of people within the mental health space, and a very important part of continued mental wellness is doing workouts. There's been studies to even show that if you're doing a sprint workout or a HIIT training, the high intensity interval training, it helps with people that are struggling with attention deficit type things. I'm not a doctor and I don't know, but they have different studies that come out for everything. So all I know is that for me, for the past 20 plus years, working out has been such a powerful, and physical movement has been such a powerful tool for me to kind of get through my day. And again, like I kind of like being able to, flex and just, I don't know, you guys have seen enough videos of me. You don't see me showing off my body very often. So this is something for me to honor and for me to just be like, oh, I've really been working on my shoulders. Oh, I've been doing a lot of push-ups, and check out, all the back muscles that are starting to pop, or, just feeling good because you can handle carrying your groceries home without, 5'1" and 115 pounds in wet clothing. And if I can carry a couple days of groceries a half mile down the street, to me, that's powerful to me. It's something that means something because other people might not be able to do it, but when people look at me, that's a way that I can honor my body and celebrate everything. So hopefully you guys are able to kind of get a better understanding of the importance of stretching, the importance of the different muscle groups, the importance of kind of getting into your body. Again, Sandy is the best at what he does, and he has a celebrity track record to prove on how he has the ability to teach you how to tap in and master every single one of those 600 muscles that we have in our body. I'm a little bit on the newer side, and I just come from experience of being a sprinter. I was a collegiate sprinter and an Ironman, and now a teacher. And so my perspective comes more from experience, and I can honestly say that, touch wood, in 20 years of competing, I've never had any injuries. So I might not be as technical, but at least I've not hurt myself. And so for me, it's a very strong focus on body awareness because I always want to make sure that people aren't going to hurt themselves. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and going through the list of things that Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll add to this video. We'll string some additional things for Sandy to add to it because he has a list of chest and tricep and lat, dorsey, and the flexor exteriors and abdominal abductors, tibia stretch, hamstring, quads, spinal cord. I think we got 80%, so we're doing pretty good. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and the nugget for today is to get into your body and to just find a way to celebrate it from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Since we're doing stretching today, we would like for you to focus on celebrating and honoring your vessel and your body through stretching. So within the next 24 hours, if you get a chance, go ahead and play this video again and hopefully do some of the stretches and just kind of get to know your body. And just, this is your home, this is your temple, this is where all the magic happens. So just start to pay attention to how all the different muscle groups are feeling and how they're connected. And we'll go from there. So thank you for stopping in, and we will see you guys soon. Big hugs, big hugs. Thank you.